Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot, and welcome to a little bit of an impromptu reading for March 2023. It's going to be a pick a card reading here today. Not something that I naturally do pretty often on my channel. It's actually been quite of like a bit of a rarity here in reference to the different types of content that I post. But I don't know, I kind of had a feeling of wanting to do a pick a card reading, and I kind of layered it out in a pretty cool way that I think you guys will enjoy. So basically, we're going to have three piles here. There will be pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and then we're also going to be covering three different topics. So the first topic is going to be you, the next topic will be your career, and then the last topic will be love, and all of this will be regarding the time frame of March 2023. So this is something I think you guys will definitely enjoy. Now I'm going to go ahead and explain how this is all going to work so that you guys can go ahead and fast forward to the timestamps that I'm going to have in the description and in the pinned top comment below. So first things first, what we're looking at here is this is going to be pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. These will always remain in the same position. So every pile of cards that's here will be pile 1, every pile will be pile 2, and then every pile here will be pile 3. So this will always remain in the same numerical order. Now, what I do want to mention is as we're covering three different topics, the very first topic we have laid out over here already is going to be the pile for you. So we'll be taking a look here at you and your life, basically what's going on with you here personally for March 2023. Now, for the second, we'll be taking a look once again in career, and for the third, we'll be looking at love. Now, I do want to mention, don't overthink whatever pile you pick. Kind of just go with whatever you feel drawn to, whatever your intuition is connecting you with, and keep in mind, if you picked pile 1 for basically you, and then when we look into career, if you felt the need to pick pile 3, know that that's totally okay. Just because you picked one pile doesn't mean you need to pick the same pile in all the different areas of life that I'll be reading for here today. So if your intuition says, hey, for the portion of reading for me, I picked pile 2, but for career, I want to pick pile 1, and for love, I want to pick pile 3. If that's what you feel, that's what you feel, and that's the beauty of connecting with your intuition. So without a further ado here, everybody, we're going to go ahead and start here first and foremost with the pile here for you. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with you individually here for March 2023. Now we're going to begin with everybody who had picked pile 1. So let's go ahead and get started. By the way, Deco Stone, thank you for subscribing to the channel. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here at pile 1 and we'll see what information comes on in. Wow, first card is very strong here. This is from the Soul's Journey. How do we call this? It's the Soul's Journey lesson cards. If you guys want to check this out, link in the description below. But we have here a friendship card. It says, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So coming into March 2023, you may find yourself, for those of you that picked pile 1, kind of in a place where you're recognizing that you meet people for a reason. People enter your life for a reason. They have significant, why was that so hard to say? They have significant value to you. And I really believe that a lot of people enter our life for a reason, for transformation, being there at the right time to save us, being there to be the biggest support when we need them, in reference to not only just friendships, but people just being there at the right time. It's a big phenomenon that we often see in life. So I really feel that people always come into our life for a reason. There's always a purpose for every connection that we find. And I think that that point will very much so be validated here for the people that picked pile number 1 coming into March 2023, just knowing that the people in your life are there for a reason, and you really start to see why. Getting on in though into the tarot cards that we have here, let's go ahead and lay it out. So we do have here a 9 of Cups coming out for you. Taking a look here into the next card, it's going to be the King of Swords. And then taking a look here at the last card coming out, we do have here the 10 of Wands. Okay, so 10 of Wands coming out, King of Swords coming out, and the 9 of Cups regarding everybody who picked pile number 1. I want to say here with the 9 of Cups to the King of Swords, automatically what I'm picking up on here is that you've been pretty okay for a long time being on your own. I really feel like there's a lot of individual energy coming off the two of these cards. 9 of Cups here is the card of satisfaction, and then King of Swords is the card here that can represent discipline, but it also could represent that you've been in a space where you've been in self-preservation. You've really been protecting yourself. You haven't been super open and trusting to other people. You've kind of just been sticking to yourself, doing your own thing. Looking at the last card that came out as well, we do have here the 10 of Wands, and 10 of Wands here is a card that represents burdens. You've gone through a lot of burdens here with people in your life. And what's, crazy about this reading as well is that we did have the card friendship come out. And as we read, this card, it says, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And I think that the whole kind of point here, jumping into March 2023, for those of you that picked pile one, is that there are people in your life for a reason. And those people served a purpose no matter what kind of effect they may have had on you. Whether people came in and they caused some pain, whether people came in and they brought some love, every person we meet and we connect with, they surely do serve a purpose. So I definitely feel like you are coming from a perspective where maybe you've been closed off to any kind of relationships for a while. King of Swords here says, I'm protecting myself. I'm in self-preservation mode. I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want other people to have the opportunity to hurt me. I'm definitely very satisfied being on my own with the Nine of Cups. I enjoy it. But at the same time, no matter how much you may enjoy being on your own, there is an aspect of it that can be not so fun with the Ten of Wands. It can be really hard sometimes and really tough and really burdensome to kind of experience life by yourself. Going through hard and difficult times, when you have a person to be there and to have a helping hand, it always can be a very nice experience overall to have that extra support and that extra help. So the main thing here, I think, in terms of this portion of the read, right, when we're reading for you, the person who's watching, I really feel like March is about having to rediscover the ability to be open to the idea that everybody serves a purpose and every connection has a meaning. And I think it's more about reopening yourself to connecting with people, especially if you've been relatively closed off due to fear of getting hurt or due to the fear of history repeating itself. We're going to meet people. Some people are going to have a great effect on us. Other people are going to have a pretty intense effect on us. There's going to be good and bad as we live in this reality of duality, but opening yourself up here to connecting with people and recognizing that everybody serves a purpose, no matter what that purpose may be, is what's going to open you back up to enjoying these connections in your life. So I really feel for everybody who picked pile number one, the kind of goal here for March 2023 is to no longer be pretty much emotionally unavailable or closed off to any kind of connections, whether they be romantic or just simply friendly. It's about opening yourself back up to it and just remembering that no matter what you've gone through, everybody came into your life for a reason. Maybe to save you, to redirect you, to guide you, whatever your case may be here specifically, all connections serve a purpose. And not every connection lasts forever. Granted, they may be temporary, there is still validity to why they were there. So always keep that in mind as well. Okay? So for pile number one, that is going to be the message I have for you regarding you. Okay? Hope you did enjoy the message. Of course, I do hope it resonated. We're going to go ahead now and move on into pile number two. So coming into pile number two, let's go ahead and unpack your cards here and we'll see what we got going on. Now we do have here health coming up here for you. Now I'm not a big person on reading health, but what it does say here is it says, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So there definitely could be health changes coming in for people who picked number two. This is about potentially adding in more exercise. It could be about changing up your diet, pretty much focusing and being more health conscious coming into March 2023. So for everybody who picked pile number two, I do feel for many of you, you could be switching things up to promote better health in your life. Now, getting on into the tarot cards that we see here today, the first card I see is going to be the Knight of Cups. Moving along here into the next card, we do have a Queen of Swords. And then taking a look here at one more card for you guys, we have here the Queen of Wands, okay? So taking a look at this information for everybody who picked pile number two, a lot of knights. We got one knight and two queens. Knight of Cups showing up here, Queen of Swords showing up here. It's pretty much about recognizing that maybe not everybody is going to be the right person for me to offer the love that I have. I definitely kind of get that feeling here for people who picked deck number two. It's like, I can't give my all to everybody. I can't give my heart to everybody because not everybody will cherish it. Not everybody will appreciate it. But for those who do, those are the people who matter, And in reference to the health card even coming out, talking about these cards as well with the tarot here and the health card, sometimes the more we give and give and give, especially to people who don't appreciate and to people who constantly take from us, that can have a huge strain on our mental health, right? Often we can feel drained, even physically, being around people who are constantly stealing our energy or people who are naturally very unappreciative of the energy that we provide. So I feel that coming into March 2023, your message here is basically stating you can't give everybody your all. You can't give everybody your love because not everybody will appreciate it. But for those who do appreciate it, Queen of Wands, give them your all, give them your heart, give them your passion, give them your love. Really focus on giving as much abundance as you can to the people who return the favor. Right? I think that at the end of the day, equal give and take is one of the most important things to have in any relationships and connections that we hold dear in our life. So essentially, if you're not getting what you're worthy and deserving of, and if people aren't providing back the same energy you give them, don't be afraid to be a little more distant with those people. And don't be afraid to prioritize more of the people in your life who certainly show you that same love that you show them. Okay? So for everybody who picked pile number 2 over here, I do feel for many of you, can be a lot of positive health changes coming in once again. You might be doing a new workout routine, possibly changing up your eating habits, but whatever you're doing to promote more health or positive health, definitely see you guys going in that direction. This could be about also promoting better mental health. So if you need to kind of like remove yourself from people in your environment who don't serve you, that certainly can be happening here in March 2023 as well. But yeah, I kind of get that overall feeling here where it's like, hey, not everybody's going to be the right people for you. You're the right person for you. Not everybody's going to love you like you love them. Not everybody's going to have the heart of gold that you have. And considering we live in this reality of duality, don't spend any time giving your heart and giving your love to the people who don't appreciate it, but instead give your heart to the people who illuminate and light up your life and that repay you with the same energy that you give to them. Okay? All right, everybody. For those of you that picked pile number 2, that is going to be your message here regarding the portion of reading for you. All right, so we'll see you when we move on forward into the next portion of the video, which will be career. Okay, and now for those of you that have picked pile number 3 for this portion of the reading, let's go ahead and get on into it. So we're going to take a look here and see the very first card that we have here. The oracle card we have says loneliness. I know that I am never alone. So let's go ahead and talk about that. There is a pretty big difference between loneliness and being actually alone. I think a lot of people often will say that they're very alone or they feel very alone, but the difference is that they feel very lonely. When you're kind of going through an experience where you are lonely, it's not that you don't have people you can talk to. It's not like individuals aren't around you, but it's that even with everybody around you, you still kind of feel like no one can really relate to you. And then whereas when we're alone, there's no one to reach out to, there's no one to talk to, there's no one to see. So that's typically the kind of difference between the two. And I really feel like with this energy of loneliness coming into March 2023, it might be that you have all these assets around you, you have all these people, you have all these loved ones, but it's very difficult to feel like you can relate to them because maybe what you're going through is so personal to you at your own core and on your own level. And because people can't relate, it's like, no one else can go through this process with me. Nobody else can give me this advice that maybe could help. But at the same time too, though, I think that it'd be great to remember that like, even if people can't necessarily relate to you, they can be able to be there for you. That was one of the things that I had to learn, especially when I've gone through lots of experiences in my life that I was very lonely. It didn't mean I didn't have people around me. I certainly did. But I think that because I felt like no one could relate to me, I would constantly push everybody away. When people could have been there to just listen. People could have been there to just listen to me talk and let me vent and let it all out instead of, for me, keeping it pretty much bottled all up inside, which wasn't necessarily healthy nor a really positive thing for me to do. So I think something to consider automatically, right, seeing the loneliness card come out is even if other individuals in your life can't necessarily relate to you, for those of you that pick pile 3, I think that it would be a good idea to still be open to them. And to just have somebody be there to be an open ear and to pretty much just vent and let it out and just know that you're loved and that other people care for you. And even if they can't relate, like they want to be there for you too, But without a further ado, let's go ahead and continue. All right. So we're going to get into your tarot cards here now. So looking at the first card, 3 of Cups. Whoa. Very good energy coming on in here for you. Taking a look here at the next card, we have here the Tower. All right. And then taking a look here at the last card, for those of you that pick pile number 3, we have here the Sun. Absolutely. So it's kind of like there's so much around me that I should feel happy about, with the Sun card, as well as with the Three of Cups, because the Three of Cups represents like a good outlet of people to turn to, individuals in your life who love you, who care about you, and who definitely would be there to lift you up, especially if it was need be. Now, with the Tower card showing up, I feel like the Tower is pretty much the feeling of loneliness here. It's this energy of not being able to understand how I could feel so lonely when I have so much in my life that should be making me happy. Right? So it's kind of that energy of a little bit of confusion and a little bit of shock, because it's like, I know I have great people in my life to talk to. I know I have great things in my life that do bring me joy and happiness, but it's like, I just can't fight this feeling of loneliness, you know? And I think that when we get into that space, once again, where we feel like other people can't relate to us, so we kind of just shut down, that only makes the experience all the more lonely. So I feel like one of the best things you can do is definitely incorporate practicing gratitude coming into March 2023. And keep in mind, that's not to say that you are not grateful for all the things in your life that are bringing you joy and happiness. But the more you can hone in on the good stuff you have that does make you happy, the more of that happiness you can have, and the more of that positive energy you can raise, in addition to raising your vibration. But another great thing that I'm really going to recommend for everybody who picked Pile 3 is that I really think you should open up to the people around you that are a good support system, Three of Cups, that really love and really care about you. And even if they don't know what you're going through, even if they can't relate, even if they can't necessarily understand, they can be there throughout the process to just hear you out and to just cheer you up and to lift you up with as much love as they can show you, and just show you that you're supported, even if they don't know exactly what it is you're experiencing. And I really think that the more you can invite people's love in for the people who care about you, the more you can see that maybe I'm not going to have to feel so lonely after all, you know? They may not relate necessarily, but at least I know I'm loved, and that's good enough for me here coming into the month of March. You know, that energy of love is incredibly powerful, and it has the ability to make everybody feel better, especially for anybody who's going through something very difficult. Just knowing that you're loved is one of the most beautiful feelings, right? But at the same time too, do remember, because when you're in that energy of loneliness and you want to kind of be closed off and you don't really want to open up to people, right? Do remember, people in your environment aren't a mind reader. So if you are experiencing something and other people don't know that, you know, don't be afraid to open up and to voice your opinion. Even if they can't understand, it's better to let it out and just have people show you that they care than to kind of keep it all to yourself and be stuck inside your head this whole time, you know? So that's what I have here for pile number 3, and that's the advice that I have here too. And I think that as time goes on and as you continue to open up, maybe people will even get to start to understand you more as time progresses. But I think that just having all that love from your environment is going to certainly change things in a very positive direction for you. So thank you to everybody who picked pile number 3. Do hope that that message resonates with you well, and I do hope that it helps out. Okay? All right, everybody. Now for this next portion of the video, we're going to be covering career for pile 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go ahead and start and begin with pile number 1. So let's go ahead and take a look here at pile number 1 for your career. All right, we're going to go ahead and start out with the Oracle card first, which is going to be Teach. Very nice. Okay. Some of you here could be teachers, possibly working in the school field. If you're not working in schools and things of that nature, you could be like a different kind of teacher, possibly a coach. You might be a wellness coach, a spiritual teacher, anything of that nature. Now, of course, this isn't all about people who are just being teachers, because when we look a little bit deeper into this Oracle card, kind of intuitively what I feel for March is that you have this ability to be very knowledgeable at what you do in your career field. And I think that you can be very beneficial for teaching others or showing others what you do. And I definitely kind of get that vibe here in March, where it's like maybe you're going to be training somebody at your job, or maybe you're just going to be showing all the knowledge you have and really teaching people about what you do. And it's going to really be able to show off your talents and just show how good you are at what you do. Now, I get the feeling here that this is going to open up doorways for promotions and open up doorways for you to just basically be more noticed by people who it's, you know, considered, I guess, higher ups, if you will, at your current place of work. And that's going to put you in a really good spot here to be promoted and to be moved to different and higher positions that can definitely not only bring in more compensation, but bring in maybe more of the responsibility you've been looking for to be a part of the job that you're currently at. So far, very, very positive here for individuals who are picking number 1. Taking a look here into the tarot now, we're going to start out here with the first card, which is going to be a 2 of Swords. So 2 of Swords is coming out here at this time. Moving along into the next card, we do have here the 5 of Wands. And then taking a look here at the last tarot card we have, it's going to be an Ace of Wands coming out here as well. So I kind of get this feeling as well for those of you that picked pile number one. I feel like with the Five of Wands here to the Two of Swords, you might have actually been debating recently no longer staying at your current place of work. You might have been thinking about potentially switching the job that you have. You might have been thinking of going to a different job or getting into a different field. You know, I almost kind of feel this energy where maybe you possibly weren't feeling appreciated, and that's why you felt kind of stuck on whether or not you're going to make this decision. Because with the Teach card coming out, right, it shows me that you're incredibly knowledgeable and very good at what you do. All right, but at the same time, you're in this space right now where you feel like, well, I haven't gotten that raise I was looking for. I haven't gotten that promotion I was looking for. I feel like I'm doing everything in my power to show everybody at my job that I'm good at what I do. And I think it's been very frustrating here for you with the Five of Wands overall. So for people who picked pile number one, you know, in your career space, you've really been kind of thinking, is this the career I want to continue to pursue if I'm not being acknowledged for my talents, right? But looking at the Ace of Wands, like I said, I feel like this month's really going to be a doorway opening up for you because you're so talented, right? So we have that Ace of Wands. I really feel like you're going to end up having a new beginning in your career, and you're definitely going to be seeing growth and expansion here at this time, considering that now your talents are certainly being paid attention to, and now there are opportunity, or more so windows of opportunity, that are opening up here for you in your career. Okay, so for people who picked pile number one, you know, you've been kind of frustrated. Maybe you've been on the debate on whether or not you should stay at your current job or if you should go somewhere else. Maybe you felt a lack of appreciation, or you felt frustration because it's like, I've wanted to climb and I'm just been waiting and waiting and waiting. But now entering March 2023, I really feel like that window of opportunity is finally showing up here for you. And as you're taking this opportunity, here comes in your new beginning you were looking for in your place of work, which is genuinely great news here for those of you here who have picked pile number one. So I love that a lot for you. Very good. All right, guys, moving on forward. By the way, there was a subscriber. We're not live, by the way, but Jemiah, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But we're going to go ahead now and put away pile number one, and we're going to go ahead and move into pile number two regarding March 2023. So let's go ahead over here and take a look. All right, now taking a look here at the individuals who picked pile number two regarding career, let's go ahead and take a look. Starting out here with your Oracle card, we do have here the card of Control. Okay, so Control is showing up here coming into March 2023. You know, this may be the energy at your place of work where maybe you feel like there is a boss that's been a little too bossy. Or a boss who's been incredibly controlling. You know, this is the energy where you may feel that you don't have the ability to really express yourself, or the ability to really kind of make the comments that you want to make at your place of work, especially if there are comments of things that may potentially be concerning to you or things that you wish to see changed. You know, sometimes it's very difficult being an employee, especially for a boss who can come off a little narcissistic, or a boss who can come off incredibly controlling. You know, if you want to voice your opinions of the workplace, just for the better of the workplace, right? And to kind of just address anything that you have opinion wise. And you know, if you're dealing with somebody here who kind of doesn't really want to listen, or can come off very arrogant, or is kind of like my way or the highway type of energy, it can be very difficult to deal with that, because it puts not only you in a stressful environment, but maybe if you have something to say that's a way better idea of how to do things or how to address situations, and if you're just not being listened to, it puts a lot of stress and frustration onto, you know, you as an employee overall. So I kind of do get that energy here that you could be connecting with a boss who's very controlling, somebody who's very my way or the highway in March 2023. Now let's go ahead and have a look here at the tarot cards that are showing up here for you. So looking at the first card, we do have an Ace of Pentacles coming out. All right, so Ace of Pentacles showing up here for you typically is the card that talks about a window of opportunity coming in here for you. So some sort of window showing up right now. Now this could be a new job, a new place of work. So you might be getting a better offer for those of you that are watching here for pile number two, especially if you work under a boss who's very controlling or isn't very positive at all to, you know, the boss's workers, right? At the end of the day, you might get a new opportunity here to work in the same store, under the same chain, or just a better job opportunity overall. Yeah, we got here the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands showing up here for you. It's the energy of the wounded warrior. You know, the 9 is very close to the 10 of Wands. Inevitably, when you get to the 10 of Wands, that's when you're beat down. But when you're at the 9 of Wands, it's like you've endured a lot, you've dealt with a lot, but you're still left standing. I kind of feel like I'm hearing it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. You don't want to get to that point where it's the 10 of Wands, because that's the straw that broke the camel's back. But 9 of Wands, I've gone through enough, but I'm up to here, right? In terms of stress or in terms of unhappiness with the current working conditions or working environment. And I think you're getting to that point where it's like something here definitely has to change with the 9 of Wands coming along here for you. Taking a look here at the last tarot card for everybody who picked pile number 2, we do have here the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's been a debate on whether or not do I stay, do I go. I really do feel like you've been kind of, back and forth on this topic for a while, trying to come to the right choice for you. But I feel like whether or not, if you've been back and forth, I do feel for people who pick this pile, you're going to have an opportunity come in for you nonetheless. And the Ace of Pentacles to me really is screaming a new job opportunity. If you work for a very popular chain, it could be the same exact chain, but a different location with a way better, more friendly and more inviting kind of boss. It could be also just another opportunity, like maybe a friend says, hey, my job's very solid. We have a great team of people who work here. Would you like to work for us? There's windows of opportunities that are going to be floating towards you, especially for those of you that have been looking for a new place of work, especially if just your current work environment is super stressful due to the kind of management that's controlling everything. So I definitely get that feeling of like right before you reach the 10 of Wands, right before you reach that point where it's like the straw broke the camel's back, you have this saving grace moment with that Ace of Pentacles where it's like new opportunity, new beginning, friendly staff, friendly everything, and the working environment so much more calmer, so much more stress-free, and so much more comfortable. And that opportunity seems to be presenting itself to you, which I would love to say is a very great thing to see here, because, I've once worked for, I would say, a boss who was not the kindest person and very controlling. And after having that kind of experience and mistreatment in the workplace, that right there was enough for me to say, I will never work for this person again. So with that being said, I do know the frustrations there and in that retrospect for those of you that may be dealing with the situation. But the nice thing to see once again is that Ace of Pentacles coming in here for you, because an opportunity is showing up for you to either switch up your workplace or potentially even to go to a different place within the same chain. But I do get this idea that a new job here is coming in for you, and it's going to be a much more friendlier type of environment overall. So really good stuff here coming in for individuals who chose deck number 2. So if you chose pile number 2 here, things will definitely be improving for you overall with this new opportunity coming in. All right though, everybody, moving on forward here to pile number 3. Let's see what's going on here if you chose this pile. So as always, let's begin here with the Oracle card, and the Oracle card we have here says seek the truth. Okay, so seek the truth. We'll take a look here at what that means as time progresses. Excuse me. Getting into the tarot, we do have here a 4 of Cups. Taking a look here at the next tarot card is going to be the 7 of Pentacles. And then looking at the last card, we do have the 10 of Cups. Okay, I'm hearing empty promises showing up here for some of you in your career for March 2023. Kind of getting these empty promises showing up here. Potentially this is bosses promising you a raise, and you've been waiting for that raise for months and it still hasn't necessarily came in. These empty promises can be about other things as well. Maybe it's not about a raise, but maybe it's about other things going on in the workplace, and it's kind of like you're doing your best here to rely on good faith for the people that you work with. But ultimately here, it just kind of feels like there's been nothing but empty promises showing up kind of back to back to back. So 4 of Cups showing up here, 7 of Pentacles showing up here. I really think you're kind of getting to that point where it's like, I'm not going to be patient anymore. I'm not going to wait anymore. And 4 of Cups, I'm not going to listen anymore, to the individual here who is pretty much whispering all of these sweet nothings. I'm not going to sit here waiting and hoping that I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to seek the truth. And I think that the truth is that if they wanted to promote me, or if they wanted to do what they said they would have already done it by now. So I see here for many of you, it's kind of like coming to that point where you're not going to listen to the same thing over again when there's been zero action taken. Somebody here is all talk, but they are no show. So they can talk the talk, but will they walk the walk? And I think you're you're recognizing, no, they're not going out walking today at all. So with the 10 of Cups showing up here as the final card for you or for those of you that have picked here pile number 3, it's like, listen, at the end of the day right now, what I care about is I care about my fulfillment, and I also care about people keeping their promises and getting what I'm told I'm going to receive. So I definitely see with the 10 of Cups, this is about you going out in your own way to find your own personal kind of fulfillment. Now, for a few of you that have picked pile number 3, your own form of fulfillment might be starting your own business, right? You become your own boss. Anything you promise to yourself, you'll make sure you uphold and keep. So you might find yourself in March starting your own personal business and doing everything you can to make your dreams, goals, and success happen. For others of you, it could be about, all right, I'm going to start looking into the jobs right now that are going to deliver, right? That are going to bring me what they say they will, instead of these empty promises that I've received. So it can be switching jobs potentially for those of you that might be going in that direction. But if that's not the case here for you, 10 of Cups could also be that instead of listening to the lies that have kind of been spread, or more so the sweet nothings that have been spread here throughout the workplace, it could be more about just saying, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to just enjoy myself and enjoy my job. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm not feeding in anymore into the sweet nothings. I'm just going to do what I got to do. So that could be showing up here for some of you in regards to pile number 3 as well. But yeah, when it comes down to seeking the truth, it's like, I'm not going to keep giving in to something that is all talk and no action. Action has to be taken here. And I feel like for many of you, action is going to be taken into your own hands, where that's finding a job that fulfills you, or starting your own business and doing what you're passionate about and love. Or this could even be about speaking your truth, saying, hey, you've said this a million times that I was going to get this raise, or that I was going to get this position. And time again, I've talked about it, and time again, nothing's happened. So where are we at? Do I have to look for a place that actually delivers on the promises that they make, or is something actually going to happen here? Like, you'll definitely get that motivation here to really speak up for yourself and speak your truth coming into March 2023 for those of you here that have chosen pile number 3. Okay, so yeah, with that being said, that's what I do see in store here for people who pick pile number 3. At the end of the day though, you will not be afraid to take matters into your own hands to make sure that you're fulfilled in the end, which is what I like here overall. Okay, so you're not going to let sweet nothing stop you. You will find your fulfillment at any cost, okay, or at all costs, if you will. All right though, everybody, that's what we have here for pile number 3 for those of you that have chose it. What we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to go ahead and move on into the last portion of the reading, which is going to be the love reading for piles 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and pick your pile, and then we'll go over the rest of it here for the love reading. Okay, see you guys there. Hello everybody, welcome in. This is going to be your portion of the read regarding love. So this will be the love reading. I do want to mention it is the next day, and we did get our overhead camera back. So I'm super happy about that, super excited. What I was looking for, I needed like a new kind of rig, or a new overhead rig. So I'm happy that we got it. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead here and begin just like yesterday as we were touching base. We were doing pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So we're going to go ahead over here and take a look into love for March 2023. Of course, take a moment to kind of choose whatever pile you feel is kind of drawing to you at the moment or calling to you. Definitely don't overthink it. Just go with pretty much your first pick, your first choice. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Timestamps are in the description and the comment section below. Now, starting in here with pile number 1, we're going to begin here with your oracle. And hello, your oracle here says soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Very beautiful for individuals who have picked pile number 1. If you've kind of been wondering to yourself, is the person I'm connecting with truly my soulmate? Is the person I'm connecting with, the individual here that's a lot more than just a normal or just the average connection? You might have been thinking, what is the significance here? Because I do feel heavily connected to this person, and vice versa, they feel heavily connected to me. So yes, this is confirmation here that you are dealing with a soulmate energy coming into March 2023. Taking a look here at your cards now, let's get into your tarot. For the very first card, we do have here the 9 of Pentacles. So 9 of Pentacles is the energy that represents being single, yet being very confident. I do feel that at this time, you and this person have not yet come together. So maybe that's something we can see and expect here jumping into March 2023. But you and this other soulmate that you're connecting with, you're not necessarily in a formal relationship yet, but I get that feeling with the 9 of Pentacles that you're pretty confident this is going somewhere. 9 of Pentacles is that embrace of confident energy. Taking a look here into the next 2 cards that we have for you, we also do have here the Hierophant. Hello, there you go. Confirmation that a relationship here is surely manifesting at this time. So you go from the the Nine of the Pentacles is how I was going to say it, huh? You go from the Nine of Pentacles here to the Hierophant, going from being single to being in a commitment, okay? So commitment energy definitely showing up here for those of you that have picked pile 1. And taking a look here at your last card, Ace of Cups. I mean, come on, dude. We couldn't get a more perfect lineup here regarding March 2023. So Nine of Pentacles here, Hierophant, and the Ace of Cups, and especially on top of the Soulmate card showing up here as well. So I gotta say, for everybody who picked pile number 1, if you've kind of been going back and forth in your mind, wondering, is the person that I'm dealing with, is the person that I'm connecting with truly my soulmate? Because this connection feels so much more than just average, right? It doesn't feel like the normal connections I've had in the past and the normal connections I've had previously. There's something about it that's so electric, that's so drawing and magnifying. You feel very attracted to this person, but you also get that sense that you feel like you've known them forever, you know? So with that being said here for you, Nine of Pentacles, you're confident it's going to go somewhere. You connect very deeply with them. You are your own individual, they're their own individual. I feel like the two of you have gone through your fair share of cycles with past people, and you've learned to become very confident after enduring lots of pain. So you and this person are kind of at a point where you're ready for true love. You're not ready for games. You're ready here for something serious and something that promotes longevity, and most importantly, you're ready here for real and true love. So with that being said here, Ace of Cups showing up here. Yes, I do believe that you and this person will be falling in love with one another. I mean, if you haven't already, kind of already feel like the two of you have fallen in love with one another, but I think love is really going to be in the air here, and I definitely feel like if you aren't in a relationship with your soulmate here just yet, this is representing a romantic union between the two of you and a commitment showing up here overall. So, with that being said, for the individuals who picked pile number 1, definitely looks like a soulmate union coming into play here for you. Really, really fantastic stuff. All right. Thank you, everybody, to those of you who have chosen pile 1. I do hope you enjoyed your reading. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on into pile number 2 for those of you that have chosen. For those of you who have chosen pile number 2, very sorry about that. Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to start here first and foremost with your oracle. So let's take a look. And it says here, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and your expectations. Absolutely. You know, this is about not judging a book by its cover. You know, sometimes we look at things, and whether we're looking at people, whether we're looking at situations, you know, we'll look at it and we'll be like, is that really what I want? Or is that really what I asked for? Or is that really what I'm looking for? But, you know, if you come to give it a chance, you might realize, wow, this is like the best thing I've ever had. Wow, this is the best person I've ever met. Or wow, this is the best, you know, job I've ever been to, right? So at the end of the day, right, it always comes down to not judging a book by its cover, because sometimes, you know, the story might be so much more interesting than you can ever imagine. So I do feel this energy here for you in the month of March. You're going to be quite surprised. For those of you that have chosen pile number 2, you're going to be quite shocked at the individual that you connect with. You know, they might not have been your ideal choice or who you thought would be your ideal connection, but as time progresses and as your emotions progress, you start to notice, I really do like this person, and it really does feel to me like we connect super deeply, even though they were the last person I expected to kind of truly connect with, you know? But regardless, you know, getting on in here into your tarot, let's go ahead and take a look. We start out here with the Queen of Pentacles. You know, Queen of Pentacles, it's the energy of focusing on your own time, right? It's about really self-care, if you will. I usually associate the Queen of Pentacles more as like a self-care card. So this is about self-care, taking care of yourself, spending your time, and, you know, choosing your investments pretty wisely. Taking a look here at the next card we do have here, the Lovers. Hello. I like that. The little palm tree in the background here too, between these two flamingos. Really, really cool. And taking a look here at the last tarot card that we also have here the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's like you can tell there's a definite connection here, but at the same time, there's this worry of like, well, they're not my ideal choice. They're not my ideal pick. This isn't the person I thought that I would love or that I thought I'd ever have a connection with. So it's kind of like, should I doubt it? Or should I just go with what my feelings are telling me? And then, of course, I'm going to tell you, well, go with what your feelings are telling you. Don't let doubt come into the air just because somebody wasn't your ideal pick. If you feel something for them, your feelings are more real than what your mind is trying to portray differently. So at the end of the day, you know, don't get caught up in your head over here. Listen to what your feelings are saying, because those feelings are indeed very, very real. So I get that sense here for you where it's like, I don't know, you know, I'm in that space right now where it just seems odd. Like, this is the last person I ever expected to fall in love with or really wish to connect with. And coming into March, I just feel so differently about them. And I've made a lot of choices. I made a lot of investments in the past in certain people. And, maybe they were the wrong choices, even though they were ideally what I was looking for. And, I kind of get the sense like maybe in your past relationships or your past dating and your past partners, I feel like you've chose people that are your type, if you will, but you've kind of come to realize that even if they were your type, even if they were ideally what you were looking for, there was a lot beneath the surface you didn't see about them that you learned about later. And then when you really got to see who these people were, you were like, damn, they actually really weren't a good pick. They weren't a good choice. So now you're kind of faced with an opposite situation. Everything that you've kind of predetermined about this person is not for you, right? This is somebody who's definitely different. They're opposite. They're not what you're used to. And you kind of look at this individual and you're like, yeah, probably not for me, but it's quite surprising how much they really are for you and how much beneath the surface they continue to resonate with you, unlike previous partners in the past. So I feel like for individuals who have chosen pile number 2, you're going to be pretty shocked at the person here you connect with. It's the person, you kind of like least expected to connect with, but guess what? It's like they're so much better than the people you ideally wanted to connect with in your past. And I think you're going to go deep with this person. Queen of Pentacles, they're going to offer you a lot of their time. They're going to want to get deep with you. They're going to want to be real with you, is what I'm feeling here with this individual. This is somebody who likes to be open, honest, very communicative, okay? Even though that's not a word. So at the end of the day, they're going to want to communicate a lot, and they're really going to want to get to know you on a super deep level. And I feel like the more deep you go with this person, the more deep down the rabbit hole you go, the more and more and more you really like this person and you really like this connection. So in regards to love here, for individuals who have picked pile number 2, most certainly don't judge a book by its cover. Definitely give this a chance and continue to give it a chance. Don't let doubt creep in and stop you right here and right now. This person might not have been your ideal choice, but I definitely think they have a lot to offer. And once again, the more you go deep down that rabbit hole, I feel like the more love there is to explore with this person you'll be dealing with, okay? All right. I like that a lot, actually. Really good message here coming in for people who picked pile number 2. All right. So pile number 2 over here is done. All right. Now moving on to everybody who has chose pile number 3. We're going to go ahead and take a look on into this for your love life for March 2023. Starting out here with your oracle. The oracle here says romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Ooh, I like that. So this is definitely a time right now not to question yourself, especially with somebody you're connecting with on a pretty romantic level. I kind of get that feeling here that maybe you've been thinking to yourself, I don't know. I mean, there are certainly feelings here, but at the same time, is it real? Like, is this going to be something that's a phase? Is this going to be something that's going to last? It's almost like you're questioning whether or not, this will be something that will continue to progress within your own self. So I definitely think that right now, in terms of feelings, you might be not too expressive or too vocal of them, just because there's that part of you that's wondering, maybe it'll pass, maybe it'll phase out. I'm not too sure. I'm not too certain, but we do have that, what's the word that I'm looking for here? Confirmation, if you will, right? With the romantic feelings card that says, hey, your feelings here are real and they are certainly worth exploring. Now, getting on into the tarot cards that we have showing up here for you in this lineup, the first card that we have here is going to be the Justice. Oh, I actually really like this card coming out here for you. Kind of feels to me like the person you'll be dealing with or are dealing with here currently in March is going to be a pretty good counterweight to you, a pretty good balance here in your life overall. Taking a look here into the next card we also have here the Devil, and then taking a look here at the last card, it's going to be the Six of Swords. I actually really like how they laid out the Devil in this deck. It's like there's this staircase leading into this woman's mind. Wow, that's actually really cool. It's kind of trippy. Either way though, guys, getting on into it here for you. Justice here, Devil, and the Six of Swords. I definitely get that vibe here where it's like, hey, the Devil card showing up, that could be the energy where maybe you've been used to being treated in a manner that's toxic. I kind of get the feeling that you're connecting with somebody who's treating you really good, and it's refreshing, but at the same time, it's questionable because I've been treated before by people who have pretty heavily mistreated me. And now that I'm getting treated really nice, and now that I'm getting taken care of by somebody who seems to care, how genuine is it? It's like there's almost this moment where you're a little sussed out by the person that you're dealing with. And I think that in terms of the future, it's like it's hard for me to look at a future with somebody when I've been promised a future before, but I've dealt with quite a few devils who have taken that future away and who ultimately destroyed that future with their actions and with the mistakes that they made. So there's a lot of fear, I think, kind of showing up around people who've picked pile number 3, because the romantic feelings here you're feeling are certainly real for this person, but the fear is what's holding you back. You're kind of trying to say, hey, maybe these feelings will pass. Maybe I won't care for this person anymore as time progresses, because at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship again after how badly I've been burned by some of the demons that I've connected with in my past. And with the Justice card showing up, like I said, I really do feel like this person will be a great counterweight. They'll make a great addition here into your life, and especially as a romantic partner. But with the Six of Swords showing up here, it's almost like you're trying to move past this because you're a little afraid to trust, or you're a little weary to trust due to the past that you've experienced with the demons that you had to battle, the demons that you had to face. So it's a pretty scary experience here overall, you know? In situations like this, I've certainly been here before in my life where I've connected with somebody after going through a pretty rough breakup, and, you know, I almost didn't want to give the person a chance. You know, I was kind of at that point where it was like, I've been burned so bad so many times by so many people that I connected with. It's like, why would all this positive treatment I'm getting treated to right now be real? You know, it was very hard for me to kind of believe that I could be loved and be taken care of and be taken seriously when I've experienced quite the opposite. So when we get used to experiencing the opposite, it's hard to experience, you know, the good stuff. When we've been used to being treated badly and poorly, it's hard to pretty much experience being treated well, because it's hard to believe it, right? So for the people who picked pile number 3, you know, what you're being called to do here this month is to not hide your feelings. Because I really do believe that you have somebody here who's incredibly genuine. I really don't feel negative energy coming off them or fake energy coming off them. I just get that vibe where it's like you're pushing them away because, you know, it's like I might as well break it off before they have the ability to hurt me or the chance to hurt me, right? Because I don't want to get hurt in the process here. And you're dumbing down your feelings or pushing down your feelings, saying that they're not true or that they don't exist, because it's like that's a mechanism of protecting yourself and of doing everything you can to save yourself from getting hurt. But remember, for every new person and for every new individual we connect with, you know, we always have to give the new people in our lives a clean slate. You know, they're not our past. They're not the people of the past. They're brand new people. And if we don't give them a fresh start, if we don't give them a clean slate, how are we ever going to know if they're actually genuine or not? At the end of the day, what would happen here is we're going to cast away everybody, and not just the negative people, but the good people too. Because if we're giving nobody a chance, then we're missing out on the good people in our lives as well. And I feel like for everybody who chose pile number 3 here, this is a good person entering your life. I really do feel that energy coming in here strongly with this person's attitude. I feel like they align to you certainly for a reason, but they are a very good individual here, and I think they would make a great addition as a romantic partner. I really do feel like they'd be a good romantic partner to you. So, you know, I mean, the choice is always going to be up to you, whether or not you give it a chance, whether or not you invest in it. But I think that if we live our lives in a way where we're constantly pushing away everybody, we're not only going to push away the bad, which it's a good thing to push away the negative people or the bad, but, you know, we're certainly going to push away the positive and the great people and the loving people who want to be there for us and who are going to make such a great impact and loving impact in our lives. And I definitely feel like that's not something worth missing out on. You know, and if you continue and remain to be shut down, like that is what you'll be missing out on here overall. So for people who picked pile number 3, it's like your feelings here are real. They're worth exploring. You know, the more you try to shove them down and push them away, it's like the more you're going to miss out on a really good opportunity to pretty much be with somebody here who I think really, really will benefit you and have such a beautiful impact on you. And most importantly, Six of Swords coming up here, I really feel like this is a person that you can have a very solidified core future with as well, especially in comparison to those little demons that you've dealt with in the past. So, you know, my advice for anybody who picked pile number 3, you know, definitely do everything you can to just let yourself be honest about what you feel and pursue this connection. Give it a go. You know, the more we remain closed off, the more we miss out on the good stuff too. And I don't think it's worth missing out on any of the good stuff, even if we have to encounter a little bit of demons along the way, slay those demons and come in contact with the angels of the world, you know? All right, though, everybody, that's what I have here for pile number 3. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Of course, I do hope it resonates with you, and thank you very much for coming on out. Really, really appreciate it, okay? And all right, everybody, with that being said, thank you very much for watching your Pick a Pile reading for March 2023. I don't naturally really do many pick a deck kind of readings. It's not really usually my type of style, but I don't know. I felt like this would be a fun thing to do. It was kind of impromptu. It was like last minute, and it was a pretty fun time, to say the least. I actually enjoyed the style of reading. So if this is something you'd like to see more, please let me know. Maybe I'll do them more on kind of like a odd or random basis, or maybe if you want this on a monthly basis, I'll see if I can kind of fit that into my schedule with the normal content that I do produce. But everybody, I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Have a great March 2023, and I'll see everybody in the next video. All right, take care, everybody, and much love. Have yourselves a good one. Peace.